breaking news in college football. Kalani Satake is leaving BYU to coach at UCLA. If you believe ESPN. Great. Number one, here's my first thought on this. It seems extremely reckless that ESPN would post that Kalani Satake is the short list, the candidate, the guy. The literal picture of the article. The picture of the article that ESPN writes about the future coach of UCLA is Kalani Sitake, BYU's head coach. And they have now labeled him as the guy. Like, he is the picture to be the next head coach in LA, leaving BYU. Personally, for me, I think this is complete BS. Further disrespect to the Big 12, further disrespect to BYU, and honestly, it's kind of laughable.
UCLA is not a better job than BYU.
It's not.
And it would be kind of crazy disingenuous for us to even imply that it is. Like, UCLA is a mess right now. DeShaun Foster was their coach because not only was he a big-time alum, but because he was cheap. And they don't have any money, man. They're at a $200 million deficit they've announced over the last, decade or so.
Gerard Mayo. Gerard Mayo.
Don't you dare, man. Don't you dare utter Gerard Mayo to me. Are you kidding me? Let me get back to this. All right. It's just not it. So you're facing that deficit. Okay. You're not a contender in the Big Ten, even in UCLA's best years of the last 20 years or so. They wouldn't be a contender in this Big Ten. And obviously the flush for cash, not only I should clarify, not only for hiring a coach, but your coaching staff and your players. That's a huge deficit. And nobody cares. There's no fan connection to that program. There's no alumni connection.
They play in the Rose Bowl.
There's no city connection. Drake, there's nothing, man. There's nothing. There's no connection to that program and the greater world of college football right now and to their own fan base.
Can I tell you?
You're going to have, if you play a night game, you're going to have the best atmosphere in the country, and you are always going to have the resources. If BYU has proven anything in the last couple years in the NIL era, it is this, that not many schools can compete with them when it comes to resources, especially in this new era. UCLA cannot compete with them when it comes to these resources. And we're talking about a Big Ten team in the biggest metro area in the United States, and they can't do it. They can't compete with what BYU has. On the field, in the bank account, and in the stands, they cannot compete with BYU. It would be silly. It would be stupid for Kalani Satake to take this job. I would understand where some people would come from saying, well, he's 10 years into BYU. And I don't know that we've seen the ceiling yet. I doubt that's the case, but you're like, maybe he thinks that the Big Ten's a more competitive conference, that he can win easier there for some reason. And he's just young enough that he can start a new place and be there for a generation. But that doesn't make sense to me. That just doesn't add up to me. BYU's a better job with a better future and a better present.
Can I say something crazy?
Yeah.
I like Kalani Satake a lot. I like his dad a lot. I like I think he is BYU, right? Even if they go 8-4 this year, I have them in Arlington. If they go 8-4 this year, I still think Kalani Satake is the guy. If I'm the Big 12, if I'm a Baylor fan, a TCU fan, a Texas Tech fan, I'm begging for Kalani to stay at BYU, because if he ever would, and this won't happen, if he ever did leave, like ESPN's insinuating, to go to UCLA, BYU will hire Andy Reid. That
would be difficult.
It's no shot to Kalani. It's just that's what BYU has proven under Brian Santiago as their track record, going and getting Kevin Young, the number one assistant in the NBA.
Yeah.
Like, if this, and I'll read here in a second why ESPN thinks this will happen. If by chance Kalani does go, BYU will hire a conglomerate of Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, the ghost of Tom Landry. Like, they will go get whoever they want at the top of college football.
Hey, there's one of their former quarterbacks is coaching at the Power Four. Don't know if you know this. He's got a quarterback with a bit of an issue right now. Sark, come on over. And we know if Andy Reid goes there is a legitimately good track record in the last few weeks of coaches in the NFL who've won multiple Super Bowls transitioning to college where they've never coached as a coach before. So that's a good thing. But I did wonder this the other day, actually, because I'm trying not to drink the Drake Toll serum too much, but everyone asked with the new Big 12 and when UT and OU left, like who would be the kind of standout program, who would consistently have a chance to make a college football playoff and be in the Big 12 championship mix every year. And I think the beauty of the Big 12 is that there isn't really that. But if you had to pick one based on this new world of college football, with a fan support and alumni support,
recruiting,
clearly
NIL.
how they've worked in recruiting, BYU would probably be it. And I wish I didn't have to say that. I wish it could be Baylor, but it's not. It's BYU. I think Baylor could be better right now, but in terms of sustainability, like who could be in the top 4 of this conference every year for 5, 6, 7 years? I think BYU's that one.
So ESPN,
UCLA's not in their conference. No way.
The 4 letters. This is great. This is what they write about Kalani. He's fairly established at his alma mater. Like, what a wild first 6 words. Just fairly established.
First off, those are the 6 words that eliminate almost everybody from any other kind of coaching position.
And scene. And we're
like, that's it, man.
That's fairly established at his alma mater.
Right? His alma mater's not Samford, you know?
Yeah. And would need some assurances beyond the Big Ten membership, which I think is maybe why they believe this is what something he would do. But Sitake's also in his 10th year at BYU and might want to restart his clock. Why would anyone ever? Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing? Like, oh yeah, he's been there for a little bit. Maybe he just wants to change the scenery. From the school landing him 5 stars and giving him millions of dollars in NIL money, they continue here. The 49-year-old, so like we've already young coach, alma mater, established, winning, money. Maybe he wants a fresh start. Spent most of his career at Utah. Also worked at Oregon State and knows the West Coast and California recruiting scene. Yeah, because he's bringing those kids to BYU.
He's beating UCLA's ass in that recruiting scene. Like that very scene. He's destroying them. Yeah.
74-43 as an FBS head coach and would bring an identity of physicality and toughness to Westwood. You just wrote me a paragraph on all of the reasons he would never go to UCLA, given his current scenario.
It's just... If he went there, he wouldn't be any closer to a national championship or an NFL head coaching job than where he's at BYU. Like it just
further away.
It doesn't make any sense, man. Yeah, I mean he would be. He'd be further away. And you talk about the assurances that UCLA can give. And again, if we're talking about UCLA versus Oklahoma State or Indiana, I guess Indiana's not a great example. They're in the same conference. A Wake Forest and NC State, then that's a different story. But there's no assurances that UCLA can give that BYU cannot give.
Yeah.
Not one. I'm sorry. Except for, an honor code thing. That's it. That's it.
This is pretty fantastic. It is. I got a text from Spencer McLaughlin, which I hate when he texts me. He's the host of Locked On College Football. And he said, hey, did you see ESPN predicting Kalani Satake to UCLA? It's like, no, but there's no way that's real. It is. It's a thing. Thank you, 4 letters, for doing what you do best.
And by the way, if you're right, if BYU's in the Big 12 championship game, Kalani Sitake's probably the national coach of the year.
No. They'll give it to
You
Norvell.
really don't think so?
And Norvell, probably.
Yeah. If he loses his quarterback, I know, they were way better than the quarterback. But
Sure.
If you lose your starting quarterback in July and you make it to your conference championship game at the Power 4 with the quarterback wearing number 47, to me, you're the national coach of the year. And maybe that's worth more.
Yeah, I don't think the Big 12 will get that level of respect or a team that was a 10-win team.
They got best player of the year last year, but I see what you mean.
Yeah,
but
they
would love the Florida State story more. I know.
If Travis Hunter played for Baylor last season, he doesn't win the Heisman.
Probably.
Yeah. He had the Dion thing. The Dion thing is a very powerful thing.
Boise State. Probably wouldn't have won the Heisman.
No chance. That's Cameron Stewart of Locked On Baylor at Real Cam Stewart. This has been, thanks Cam Marino, Locked On. Thanks for making our shows your first listen every single day. It's Crossover with Baylor and Dose Grande.